Tony Thompson is a good fight for Luis Ortiz. Why? Because it's a measuring stick fight for Luis Ortiz to see how he measures up against a former heavyweight contender. For example, he's fought Malik Scott in his last fight. He's fought Vladimir Klitschko twice. He's fought David Price twice. And even though he's lost in all of his big fights outside of the David Price fights, he still brings something to the heavyweight division as far as a good name for opponents to fight. It's almost like basically he's a gatekeeper. Tony Thompson is a gatekeeper. Luis Ortiz versus Tony Thompson is official for March the 5th, 2016 down in the DC Armory. It's going to be on HBO Championship Boxing. Also on the undercard is Saddam Ali versus Jesse Vargas. Now, it's a shame that I have to say this, but BoxRec is a good source for boxing information, but it's not reliable as far as when you want to prove to somebody something is happening. It says that it's for the WBA interim title, but Tony Thompson is not ranked by the WBA. The WBA has came out to state that it's not sanctioned this fight for a WBA interim title fight. Now remember, Luis Ortiz is supposed to fight Alexander Ustinov. The winner of Luis Ortiz versus Alexander Ustinov, if Luis Ortiz gets past Tony Thompson, is supposed to fight the winner of Vladimir Klitschko versus Tyson Fury. Then the winner of that is supposed to fight the winner of Lucas Brown versus Chayev's winner versus Fresno Kendo winner. Now, the WBA has a tournament. I don't want to confuse you too much, but basically, Luis Ortiz is in line to be the next challenger for the winner of Tyson Fury versus Vladimir Klitschko's rematch. So sometime within a year or so, we're going to see him get his WBA title shot, but he has to get past Tony Thompson. Luis Ortiz, as I said in previous videos, is the big bad wolf of the heavyweight division. He's good. What he's shown us is he's good, but still it leaves more to be desired. For example, we can't forget that he failed the drug test against Latif Kiyoti. Also, even though he did beat Latif Kiyoti, you can't really count that because Latif Kiyoti is a natural cruiserweight. And even though it's not that much of a difference between a cruiserweight and a heavyweight still, he beat up on a smaller fighter. We saw that Luis Ortiz was able to use his better boxing ability to be able to beat Brian Jennings. And Luis Ortiz has shown us that when it comes to heavyweights, he may be one of the best overall boxers in the division. But right now, he's at the same level of a Joseph Parker or Anthony Joshua or Robert Helenius or any of those guys. Why? Is because he hasn't done anything or hasn't had a real solid solidified win that will shoot him up into people's minds to say, oh yeah, this guy is definitely going to beat him. I don't see a Luis Ortiz beating the Tyson Fury, in my opinion. You see what I'm saying? Why? Is because he's got to prove more to me to convince me that he has a good chance to be a top heavyweight. Right now, he's just the big bad wolf. He can blow down the straw houses. He can blow down the, what was the big bad wolf story? It was the straw houses? What was it, Clay? No, that sounds stupid. That sounds really, really dumb. But anyway, we don't know if he can blow down the brick houses yet, which is the big question. So March the 5th, 2016, he was supposed to be fighting Alexander Dmytrenko, but Alexander Dmytrenko, according to Dan Rayfield, priced himself out, wanted more money. The Tony Thompson fight was easy to make because Tony Thompson will indeed fight anybody. And also it benefits Tony Thompson because even though he took a loss, now he's fighting on HBO and getting a payday against a big name and also getting a shot at a big name at a point in time in his career where it looks like he's really done, especially after losing to Malik Scott. Not saying that Malik Scott is a bad fighter or anything. But I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. Follow me on Twitter at T Street Controversy. Well, it's T Street Live on Twitter, but basically you can look up T Street Controversy. All the links to my social media are right down below in the description box. Please subscribe.